Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you to the Kortex Media Podcast, where we navigate the fast-paced world of automotive and more. I'm your host, Corson Schmidt. Here today, I have Javier Morales. He is the founder of Cayman Motors and has been formerly working in the automotive industry for over 2.5 years. Transforming a lifelong passion for cars into a thriving business, he holds a degree in finance in Mexico City and an MBA with specialization in finance from London. Before launching Cayman Motors, Javier co-founded and managed Evolve Fitness Center, a CrossFit gym, where he also coached for 7 years. His journey is a testament to turning personal interests into professional success, blending business expertise with genuine enthusiasm for the automotive world. It's great to have you on, Javier.
Thank you for the invitation, Corson. It's a pleasure to be here and get to know you.
No worries. I'm excited to get into this podcast. But to start, so you turned a lifelong passion for cars into your profession, founding Cayman Motors. Can you share a little bit of what inspired you to take that leap from hobbyist to business owner?
Yes, of course. I've always been passionate about cars. I started buying and selling cars many years ago as a hobby. I used to spend all nights searching the web, looking for the best cars out there. And it was a really kind of mixed experience, because it's kind of difficult to get to buy the right cars in Mexico City, and I imagine around the world, but I encountered some challenges around it, so it was kind of not a good experience to buy and sell cars around here, and that's why what inspired me to focus and switch to do it in Cayman.
That's super cool. That's awesome. And can you just tell the audience a little bit what you guys do at Cayman Motors? You guys are a dealership, and what area do you guys service?
Of course, we are a boutique. We're not kind of a big dealership. We source very well the cars that we want to sell, and we specialize in premium, luxury cars, SUVs, and classic cars, armored vehicles, and around.
That's super cool. That's awesome. Can you speak why you wanted to get into the more luxury and classic car side of world than just the overall dealership side of things?
Yes, of course. I think that has to do with the cars that I like and the cars I like to be around, the people I like to get to know around these cars, owners, and it's like kind of also a social network, right, around these cars. And
For sure.
since I started it as my passion, I was not looking to find the cars that would sell the most quick, or to get the easy money quickly. It was more like to get the cool cars and the right cars.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Especially if you're working with the vehicles that you like as well. If you're trying to sell a vehicle you like, it's a lot easier to sell.
Exactly. It's I like to think that if it's not a car that I would buy myself, it's not a car that I want to sell in Cayman.
That's awesome. I like that. So before Cayman Motors, you co-founded a CrossFit gym and served as a coach. How did that entrepreneurial experience shape your approach to running an automotive dealership?
Yeah, I started that business when I was 21 years old. I was studying in the meantime. It's funny because it also started as a passion. I used to be in one CrossFit gym, and I get to know other two guys there, and we loved CrossFit. We went there every day. We worked hard, and we started really liking like what the CrossFit experience brought to us. So
Sure.
we decided to start our own business, and it was kind of a very nice experience because we had no prior business experience, and we decided to launch. Nobody of the three had run a business before, and so getting into that entrepreneurial world, you find there's a lot of challenges, like from the very little stuff, like we're out of water today and clients want to take a shower, how do we fix
Yeah.
it? Till the big picture, like where are we going? Are we opening more? Um, more franchises and like the
Yeah.
big panorama, but it's always a cool experience because it's a fast and it's always challenging experience to run a business. But I've been also in the corporate world, and it has its challenges too. You receive your paycheck, but it's also like you work really hard to get up the ladder. So I
For
think
sure.
like both worlds have their good and bad stuff, right?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah, if you're running a business, you have a lot on your plate and you have a lot going on. But in the corporate world, if you're working a job, you're not always associated with business, so you do have some time off. But with running a business, you're always working. There's never a time that you're not.
Exactly. You always have to be there. It's important, I think, like to be there, to feel the experience, to like in the CrossFit, I would work out there, and if I saw something that was an opportunity I didn't like, we will need to change. And also in Cayman, like I'm here pretty much around all day, and I jump into every car we have. I check all the details, like if I'm buying this car, what would I like to be changed? Are the tires okay? Are like
For sure.
from the big details to the little ones.
For sure, you gotta make sure that you're differentiating from different dealerships, and that's what leads into my next question. How do you guys differentiate from other dealerships or automotive businesses in your market? Obviously, that's one reason, but how else do you guys stand above the competition?
I think what has marked like the difference in our boutique is that we really care about the cars we sell. Like we
Mm-hmm.
really dig into the history of the car, the service maintenance history. Is this car a car that I would buy? Is this a car I would like to have or to sell to my brother? Like, and that's something that when people get into our place, they can sense it, because they see all the cars we have. They know that we know the history of the car, and
Yeah,
that we are really into giving them a good and also like a trust and honest experience about
for
the
sure.
cars that they're gonna have, no? Like if there's any problem with the car, instead of hiding it or telling like, no, it's not a big deal, it's just sometimes it makes this the exhaust problem, but it's
Yeah,
no, it has a problem, we need to fix it. And I think that's what like the feedback I get around our customers, around our clients, that also they become good friends, is like they can sense this feeling that they're buying the car at the right place. We don't want just to sell a car. We want to make good friends with our clients. We want to have like a relationship, a good and that pays off, because I have many clients that are now my friends, and they sometimes see a car that is posted online, and they can buy it without even seeing it. They
yeah,
call me, hey, how's this car? We have a few conversation. Okay, I'll take it. I'm in next week from my trip, and I'll go and have it.
that's awesome.
So I think that's what we've been focusing on, marking the difference around this.
For sure. No, that's awesome. It's great. You're looking out for the customer, making sure they're happy. And especially with a luxury car, you don't want something to break down right as soon as it leaves the lot, right? You want to make sure that you're giving them quality, and that's where you come in place, checking everything over. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you love most about working in the automotive industry, and then what keeps you motivated?
Well, for sure, it's about the cars.
For
Like
sure.
many days I'm having a really busy day, lots of stuff going on and everything. But when clients come into my place and they see the cars we have, they are like damn, you have a nice, good job, you know. Yeah, and then I get a phone call. Hey, Javier, I want to sell these Porsche Spider RS with 90 miles on it. Can I take it today? It's like, of course, I'll see you here in 15 minutes. And I'm really excited about the incoming cars, you know.
For sure.
So that's kind of what keeps us going. Also, when we manage to finalize the sales and we are delivering the cars to our new clients, it's always a beautiful experience because you can see how excited they are about what they're about to buy or what they're buying. So for sure, I think if we're still selling stuff, it's better if you're selling something that you like.
For sure. No, that totally makes sense.
And also, I think that with your question, that what keeps us motivated is that I've seen that we're growing a lot, like from the 2.5 years that we've been on track. Every day is a busier day. Every day we get more cars, we sell more cars. So always a tough and a rough experience. The day to day, the administration and everything. But seeing this trend that we are like growing and like founding a solid business is what keeps us motivated, and we want to do like more of it.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And what's your favorite car that you've either bought or sold? Have you had like some dream cars come through the lot that you're like, oh, I wish I could keep that myself?
For sure, many of those. There's one in particular that I'm really sad I couldn't keep myself. It's a dream car. I've always wanted one myself. That's a BMW 1M 2012. And I had a friend who called me and he said, hey, my dad wants to sell this car. It had like 10,000 miles on it.
Oh,
it was,
wow.
really like new. We sold it at a very good price. I think I sold it like in 3 days. That's why I didn't manage to organize my stuff and keep it to myself. But it was a car that many people called me and saw that it went through us, and it's not the most expensive car by far we've sold. It's not like the most I don't know, that sportier one, but it's one that I'm hoping one day I'll get into my garage.
For sure, yeah, they're a super nice car. You can't go wrong with a BMW.
Exactly.
Who was your biggest role model in your entrepreneurial journey?
That's a good question. I think I read the book of Richard Branson, like it's called Losing My Virginity or something like that. And what I really liked about his mindset is like he's always not just looking into getting to business, but doing something they like and treating the people that work with them very nice and like having a good ambience. And I think like that's the most important thing about doing a business, no? Like helping the people that are part of your team and that are part of your company and growing as a team, not just growing me individually and paying them, you know. And so I think Richard Branson, like that book really changed my approach to business. And also the book about Patagonia, about I forgot his name, is Gerard. It's the founder of Patagonia. He also inspired me about doing the things that he loved, you know. Like he went climbing with his friends. He saw that the harnesses were not good enough, so he started doing his own harnesses, you know. So it was something that he was passionate about, and that's what I admired most also.
That's awesome. Yeah, those are two really good people to look up to, and there's so much information. Richard Brunson is he's just a highlight individual in the entrepreneur space, so he's a great guy to learn from, for sure. What major shifts are you seeing in the industry right now? Tariffs are putting a little bit of a stall to some things, but what are some of the shifts that you're seeing in the industry?
Well, I'm seeing the the change towards hybrid and electric cars.
Yeah,
Um, that's very interesting, but because they like I think hybrid and EV cars have like a big opportunity around, and it's gonna be definitely the big next thing.
for
But
sure.
there are also people like that are not really very into
Yeah,
electric vehicles, and they're gonna miss a good old V12, or big V8,
yeah,
that sound and everything. So, um, I think it's gonna be interesting, like what happened with Porsche, that they started switching all the Macans and Caymans and Boxsters to electric, and now they're backing up that change, and they're saying, no, wait a bit, maybe what we do best is uh, uh,
stick with the
combustion
gas.
cars, no?
Yeah,
So I think definitely that's it. And the other big trend I'm seeing is like new brands, Chinese, like low cost brands are flooding the market, like in
yeah,
Mexico. Every day you see new logos out there on the streets, BYD and many, many brands.
yeah,
That, of course, they are good cars. They are not as expensive as other brands and everything, but also I think it's important to consider the quality of those new cars. Like
for sure.
for me personally, German cars, it's like it's hard to beat them.
It's the way to go. I'm a Volkswagen guy, so I totally agree with you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's I have a Volkswagen Beetle, 1969.
Nice.
It was my first car. I had it
That's
when I was like
awesome.
15 years old. I restored it all, and I have it there in my garage. I love that Beetle, and I use it a lot.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Do you have any other projects that you've worked on throughout the years that you have sentimental value to you?
Um, yes, not many sentimental value because I've sold them. When the good opportunity came or whatever, I just sell them and get a new one. But this
Yeah,
one, it was my first car. Then I gave it to my dad. Then when I finished my MBA, my dad gave it back to me. So it's been in the family for
that's awesome.
probably 20 years, and yeah, it's a car I wouldn't be able to sell.
That's super cool, and you can't beat a Volkswagen Beetle. They're pretty. They're awesome cars.
Yeah, there are.
Um, how do you see the role of technology and digital platforms changing the way people buy and sell cars?
I think there are tools that are very productive. Like
For
I've been
sure.
exploring some AI tools to respond automatic messages about some question about some car, or
Yeah,
even to change the background. Like you can take
the
a picture
photos.
of exactly of one car, and you can change the background to do it like a virtual showroom and everything.
Yeah,
And so I think definitely there are many tools we can use nowadays, but at the end, it's very difficult to buy a car online. Like if you're buying something on Amazon, like you
for
have
sure.
to go and see the car, feel it, you
Yeah,
have to pay it, do the transaction and everything. So it's hard to, like through my website, you can't purchase a car. You can see them, you can get the information, everything. But if you want to do the real deal, you have to come here and buy it. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we can manage to change that,
yeah,
and figure the way to simplify more this using these technologies. I think eventually we'll be there, but it's gonna be a challenge.
for sure. No, that's awesome. And the AI was my next question. I was gonna ask, um, how do you think it's gonna impact you guys? But you've already been using it for certain things within the business, and that's super cool. I think it's a tool that's really gonna help not only dealerships but any business in the world. Their AI is going to be a huge factor in helping them out.
Yeah, of course. Even the small tools, like ChatGPT and everything. We use it a lot
Yeah.
to find the specs about the cars, to compare it to other cars. Like I chat with ChatGPT all the time about cars, and it's
It's
incredible.
it is.
Before we have to research in magazines and the papers and everything, and now you have all the information you have. You can even discuss with it if he believes it's gonna, or it believes it's gonna become a future classic. Why yes, why
Yeah,
not? So yeah, technology for sure, it's impressive, and I think we have to make the most advantage out of it.
for sure. No, that totally makes sense. It's definitely something that's going to help out a lot of companies. Um, and this kind of leads me to my next question. With AI helping so much, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced early in Cayman Motors, and how did you overcome them?
I think the biggest challenge was to start the business, because from day zero to day one you become a person who sells cars, who has no experience, and you're in day two of the business. So
Yeah,
to sell my first cars, I have to source them through friends and family, to establish my website and everything. But I had no like infrastructure. Like I didn't have a showroom from day one, and offices and everything. So I
yeah,
really started at my house. I set up a little office there, and clients would come, and I would welcome them, and they were like, "Is this your home or your office?" And I was like, "It's both. It's Cayman offices and it's my home." Like. So that was a
that's
bit of
really
a
cool.
challenge to get to, because right now we have some track record, we have some reviews, people who has, I don't know, who backs us up in certain ways. But like to start, it was quite of a challenge. I
Yeah,
think we're past that, and we're facing new challenges. We're right now going through an expansion. We're establishing a new showroom that's gonna be like very cool, with big offices.
that's cool.
Uh,
Awesome.
yeah, so it's like the next level. But to start was, I think, and also to believe in yourself. When you're starting, it's like, I have a family, I have to like to get around, and I'm starting a business, and let's see how it goes. You have to believe on it.
Yeah, no, that's and that's I did not know that you started off in your house. That is amazing. That especially taking the initiative, not having an actual location to do everything. You took it all into your own hands. You did it at home, and now you're building it into a company where you're building a new showroom, and things are expanding nice at a good pace for you. So that's awesome. Can you speak a little bit more about kind of the dealership that you have, like your location now, and are you staying in the same location with the new showroom coming in?
We're moving 5 minutes from where, actually. It's very very close. But yeah, it's I we get a place in like a big garage. Has lots of natural light. That's
Yeah,
always great for cars. And we're building down there some offices, some also like a lounge, where clients can hang around, or friends or whatever, and see the cars and have a drink or chill there,
that's
or
awesome.
work or
Yeah,
whatever. We're also doing our own detailing business, so we're like mounting a very nice place to detail all the cars that we sell, and also like if our clients wants to have their cars detailed after, we can do it there. And also like a place to do some mechanical work and everything. So I think this is gonna be, it's a big investment, and it's like a big rent every month and everything. But I think
yeah,
that we're at the stage that we have to take that leap to grow, So it's
yeah.
like pushing me some days out of my comfort zone, and believing again in the like phase two of Cayman. And
Yeah,
actually, I have right here like the all the the master plan and
the
everything. So
plans.
it's,
Yeah,
yeah, and I think it's gonna be ready in about 1 or 2 months.
that's awesome. That's super exciting. Things are moving forward for you, and you're gonna have another company running here with you soon, and you're looking to open a shop, like a repair shop as well. So that's super exciting. Things are really moving forward for Cayman.
Thank you,
They're
Carson.
Yeah, no worries. They're going to be the go-to dealership and the go-to shop here soon in Mexico.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's our goal.
That's awesome. And speaking of goals, what are some of the goals that you guys have for the next 6 to 12 months? Obviously, you have that new showroom coming in. That's super exciting. Do you have any other goals or projects that you're excited to launch?
Yeah, I think like with this new showroom comes also like um, the team effort. No, we have to hire some new personnel, and so we're in interviews for some people can help us with the operations and also with the detailing new shop and mechanics and
Yeah,
everything. So it's not just having a cool place, but it's also having the right people.
for sure. No, the team makes the company, and as
Exactly.
long as you have the right team in place, they're gonna help you pay the bills on the new property and all the new investments. So that's super exciting.
Exactly. Yeah, the team. I think it's as important as the cars. It's like they have to believe in this also.
Yeah, they have to believe in your process, and they're learning from a good leader. You're very oriented, and you know what you want to accomplish. And as long as you train them the same way, I bet you they'll pick everything up right from you.
Thank you, Carson. It
No worries.
sounds easy.
um, if you could go back to when you started Cayman, what advice would you give your younger self?
I think like to worry less about the process. I used to worry a lot at night. Like
Yeah,
what am I doing? Am I doing it okay? Should I be growing faster? Should I be hiring more people? Should I be spending more? I like right now that we are more settled. I think everything has found its own path and it's going through a right way. So I would recommend my younger self to have like more peace of mind, more
yeah,
trust, and just like flow, let it go.
yeah. No, that's some great advice. And just go with the flow, like you said. Trust in the
Exactly.
process, and everything will line up the way it's supposed to, and it has for you. And you're gonna trust the process even further now that you have more initiatives coming along. Looking back at your journey, what are some of the most important lessons that you've learned, and what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur wanting to come into the boutique dealership side of things?
Well, my advice is it would be that if it's something that they believe in, they have to take the first step and just start doing it, because many times you focus a lot on the planning, and you want to find the perfect moment to start and when everything aligns, and sometimes that moment will never come. You have to
Yeah,
set your own logo and build your website and start, like step from step, and work hard every day towards it. But it's just like believe it, think it, do it, because if not, things don't come like they don't appear out of the blue. You have to
for
you
sure.
have to do them.
For sure. No, that's some great advice, and yeah, to be a great entrepreneur, you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's never going to happen. And then you have to take that first initiative and actually start the process, and eventually just keep taking steps and keep believing, and eventually you're going to hit those goals. So I think that's one of the best advice you could give to anyone entering the space. That's awesome.
Yes.
Where can people find you? On your website, social media?
Yes, we have a website. It's caymanmotors.mx. We also are on Instagram, like Cayman Motors MX, and Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah, the traditional networks.
Awesome. No, that's perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast today, Javier. That was a good conversation. You gave a lot of insights for people just starting out in the industry, and how they can move forward and really reject their beliefs and take the first initiative to get things rolling in their company. And you spoke a lot about the challenges that you guys had, and I think it's great because a lot of people are going to find some good information from this podcast.
No, thank you for the invitation, Corson. It was a pleasure to speak with you. I hope my English, it was not as bad as it sounds.
No, it was good. It was really good. That's great.
But thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to share with you. And if you want to talk more about cars or where to take a visit to our new showroom, you're always invited.
That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.